What is going on, everybody? This is Simon for Thoman's Drum Bash. I'm at the very first EU drum show in Germany here in Friedrichshafen, and I have the big pleasure to talk to a drummer who has defined the sound of one of the most explosive live bands there is, called Rammstein. Please say hi to Christoph Schneider.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me here.
Man, it's
honored.
Such an honor to talk to you. I'm really like a little bit shaking because
we shouldn't.
like nervous. How is it going? How's your day?
My day was fantastic so far. I had a signing session already and another interview, and the signing session was something. It was so noisy in that place that I couldn't hear any word of anybody. So and there were a lot of people. So, but. You know. Yeah,
it's true. I saw the
It's a drum show.
Yeah, and it's great.
Yeah, people wants to hit something. When you cannot deny that they just be quiet there.
No, that would be like a punishment for a drummer, actually, if you have to be quiet.
That's where they're coming for.
You had that EU podcast, and you mentioned that you're going to play some Rammstein songs today without the vocals. And you also mentioned that you are more of a band player. So what would you say would be the most important thing for you out of the drummer perspective when it comes to playing with a band?
Don't make the singer angry.
Don't make me...
Yeah, that it means that you have to support the band and laying down your track, your fundament for the other musicians. And this have to be clear, simple, and steady. When you are doing too complicated things or it depends on the songs, or you're doing things where they're not belongs in the songs, then everybody else will be upset and you get a look. So for me, it's the question, being also a little bit, bring off some discipline. Not to do too much, even if you are excited and have some ideas sparking in your head. Stick to the song like the song is. Yeah.
Was there ever a moment when you tried something and then they were looking at you during a show?
Many times. Of course. There are also other. Earlier times in my drama career, I wanted to be this, and I want to be develop more, maybe more double bass or whatever. And then you're trying to do these things all the time in different songs where they not belong to, but it works somehow. But then mostly my colleagues, they're not very excited about it.
Okay.
They want me to play very straight and easy and more like supportive than to show up what maybe all drummer can do. And that's why I became my style quite simple over the years. I had more more the intention or more ideas for my style. But when we started to playing to click tracks and sequences, I figured out that a lot of things I couldn't play anymore, like I thought I could play, because I didn't keep the timing, and then I set them beside at first, and so my style become more transparent and more simple.
Yeah, and I think this is also, like you mentioned this also in the podcast, that you had to develop a different kind of style of playing with Rammstein because of all the sequencers and whatnot, electronic stuff.
Yeah.
So it is basically that you started to try to play as less as possible, but still enough for the music, or maybe.
Yeah, this is. We figured together out that certain things also in drumming sometimes supported the guitars very well. For example, that rhythm when you play just everything on one, we call this, I don't know what we call this, Stampfbeat oder sowas, Then this one, I never would think that I would play something like that, but then later I figured out that the Stones sometimes used this kind of rhythm a lot. Yeah,
really?
Painted Black or so. Yeah,
Yeah.
And then, because they were in the 60s, and this kind of groovy playing comes later with John Bonham. Although he played along guitar riffs and had different rhythms, and we got back to this straight thing, and it had so much impact, which everybody likes. And then was my role to play these kind of rhythms, and like I felt like really stupid in the beginning because no other drummer was playing like that.
Yeah.
Mostly, but became kind of my style. And then over the years, people liked it, and getting better and better with that, and then you also kind of adding other things to it.
Yeah, it is really outstanding. I saw you guys play at Waldbühne in Berlin. It was my very first and unfortunately last Rammstein show that I saw, and I was so blown away also by your drumming, but also like this massive sound you guys have, and it's insane. And you're closing the show tonight, which I'm really looking forward to see you play, and I think it's going to be amazing. And maybe we can talk a little bit about your drums that you brought for today's show. What kind of kit?
Yeah, it is more or less the same drum I'm using also for live shows. It's the same kit. I didn't bring everything because I don't need everything for that what I'm going to do tonight. And yeah, I'm doing this the very first time. Playing on a drum show in front of other drummers, and it's a totally different setup, and it makes me nervous. Yeah, because it's another audience. But as far as I know, drummers, they are mostly very good colleagues, and it's a nice community where you're supporting each other and talking out. It's not a contest, No,
it's
everybody
not a contest,
is doing what he can do, and as they invited me, then I'm going to show how to play on some Rammstein tracks.
Yeah. People are gonna love it.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. So, do you have like a specific drum or anything that is essential for your drum sound or for your sound?
You realize that you depend on a lot of things when you sit sometimes on the other guy on another drum kit, which is not yours, that you feel very strange and cannot play what you usually can play because it sounds different. It's a different angles, setting, heights. Drum set is not like a piano,
No.
It's every time the same, or a guitar. Everybody builds a different setup, different tuning, different sizes, and I don't have any very specific thing, but I figured out that when I just have a single pedal for the bass drum, I feel insecure, even if I don't play so much double bass, but for some fills and some things I need it, and then I miss it when I have just one pedal. I cannot play anymore with that. So that will be my double bass pedal.
Yeah,
somehow.
That's interesting. It's that's not something I would expect, but it makes totally sense.
Yeah, if you're used to have it all the time, then you maybe use it also for fills and little things, and if you don't have it, then you can't play certain things.
And I also saw like you're also for the drum sound, which is so massive outside. You also use do you also use triggers for that, or is it really like, I don't know, the tuning or the
these days this is more the look for good sound tuning. I'm not using this triggering so much anymore. I used to, and it was also for a certain period a part of our sound. But when I listen back now to those recordings, when the triggering is too loud, then it doesn't sound good. This mixing, and it was in the 90s was very popular, but then we don't I'm using pads for certain effects, but not like a additional tom sound on the toms or additional snare. Just sometimes if it's a very unique thing and you want to, you need it for a certain drum sound, but not for the basic sound.
Yeah. So you don't use, I mean, I know a lot of drummers that use like a kick drum trigger to add more low-end frequencies to the bass drum or anything like that. So it's just all like the pure acoustic.
This is pure acoustic. Sound. Yeah.
Wow. Right.
Yeah, but I don't know. Triggering is maybe helping a lot when you need more attack and you need more something. Because low end, mostly the bass drums got a lot. Low end can be also different.
Yeah,
for some
right,
some music like hip hop, you have low end.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're touring with Rammstein, I mean, you played so many big shows and venues and all over the world, basically. Is there one where you would say this was the most impressive show or venue until today?
Yes. It was a really cool thing that we made it into a stadium, because my opinion is that the Rammstein show then really folding up for that what it could be, and that was for me a very, very great moment when we played the first shows there. But the best stadium for us is the Berlin Olympic Stadium.
No way.
Yeah, it is perfect. This is an unbelievable atmosphere in that stadium, and
When you tour them, do you have or how do you prepare yourself physically and mentally for such a long tour? When you know, okay, we're going on the road, and then you're going to be maybe away for like 2 months or even longer. Do you have a specific mindset or?
Preparing starts early, So I'm doing since many years a lot of sports, at least 2 times a week. So kind of personal training where I try to stay in shape. You need a little basic shape for drumming, you know that.
Yeah, that's right.
And this helps. But in terms of playing drums, the best fitness you get is from shows, from concerts. You can rehearse a lot before, but everything is cool. Also with a band and rehearsal room playing through the whole set and so. But the show becomes really good after like 5 to 10 times playing it. Then it's rolling.
Okay.
And when you are coming off a tour, then you have that mood maybe for another 4 weeks, and then it's fading away slowly.
But do you also work out or do sports when you are on tour, or is it just for the preparation? I mean, you do sports while
when we
playing
are on
drums,
the road,
basically.
and then I'm using kind of gym properties or whatever is in a hotel, or I go for a run or something.
I
like that too. When you are in other cities, and then this is kind of a sightseeing. Also, can do like combined with jogging.
Nice. When you do Rammstein, that's also very nice. Actually. When you do, or when you go into the studio with Rammstein to record maybe new songs, do you use the same drums and everything, or do you have like a different process when you play drums in the studio compared to playing drums live?
Oh yeah, we have there since 10 years or something a new approach. I'm using when I'm with my band in the rehearsal room. I'm using an electronic drum kit.
Okay.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, then we can lower the whole volume thing. The guitars doesn't need to be so loud like they needs to be when you are having acoustics. It's what we've done many years before, and everyone gets headache. And so we are putting everything on one mix desk, and then have like big studio speakers.
Yeah.
And there's everything like in stereo on it. So
Wow, really? So you don't
and
do...
so we don't need headphones, we don't
Yeah.
need in-ears. We just play and we can talk to each other while we are playing. And this works very good. And e-drums, they sound very good these days. Also, when you record with it. And this is our way to writing songs. Everything needs to be rehearsed and practice, and then playing that riff along, and then trying this part, and then putting things together.
So you still write songs all together in a room, like the classic way to write songs?
They are sometimes written before, like as a demo from a guitar player, but we don't go like direct in the production. It needs to go through that mill of playing, and usually then it's going to change a lot.
Yeah,
because everybody needs to feel good with it. Also, we think also then at that stage also about live, how that would feel when we play live. If the tempo is uncomfortable, then you know that will stay uncomfortable when you are on a stage. You always want to play faster, and this are things you just can figure out when you play the things. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, especially on stage when there's the adrenaline, and then you usually you rush, which is human. Like a human thing to do, so it totally makes sense. Yeah, but then when you go into the studio, then you have your drum set, and
then we're using the acoustic and then you're usually tracking setup. Sound is nice, and then I lay down the drum tracks at first, and then the other playing their things. That's we usually work.
Yeah, and this is also like when you did the podcast with the EU Drum Show, it was in your studio. Like because we saw some drums in the background.
This is my room. This is also the band's rehearsal room.
That's what I wanted to ask.
We have basically kind of a rehearsal room, which you could also call studio, but it's not a classical studio.
Okay.
So
you're not gonna record the album songs in that studio, so you go somewhere else in Berlin.
We're rehearsing there, and when the band is not there, then this is my rehearsal room.
If you would have the chance to step into another drummer's shoes, which band or drummer would you pick?
Ooh. Yes, I don't know. I've never thought about that. Maybe I could play an AC/DC show or something.
I would love to see that, cool. Actually.
I could imagine. I could do that.
Yeah, I can totally imagine that too. Well, great. Christoph, thank you so much for your time. It was a big pleasure to talk to you.
And it was mine.
Thanks a lot. You guys should definitely check out Rammstein live. If you have the chance, go see it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and I'll see you again in one of the next videos. Christoph, enjoy your day at the show. Have a lot of fun with your performance later today.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you very soon.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Bye-bye.